It's week 3 in the Superdome. Saints versus Packers, Sunday Night Football. It's exciting, and we have everything you need to know right here on Dome at Home Live, presented by FedEx. I'm Caroline Gonzalez, alongside John DeShazier outside the Mercedes-Benz Superdome.
You know, we knew this was going to be huge when the schedule came out. Week 3, Saints, Packers, and indeed it is a huge game. So we'll have a whole lot for you in this show. Stay tuned, stick with us. Former Saints quarterback Luke McCown will join us for great insight and breakdown into this game.
We also have a celebrity score prediction and player warm-ups presented by FedEx. Let's go ahead and take a look inside the Superdome with our countdown to kickoff presented by Waiter. So obviously the Saints are trying to bounce back from last week's loss against the Raiders. Kind of a short week. They played on Monday. You got Sunday night game. What are you looking to see tonight?
Well, you hope to see a lot more energy than you saw on Monday night at times. Team kind of decimated or dwindled a bit after the first quarter. They picked it up a little bit, but they just couldn't make the comeback against the Raiders. A lot of that is attributable to the Raiders. However, the Saints admittedly didn't play well on offense, didn't play well on defense. And so, you know, those are things they hope to rectify. The penalty situation, they have to get under control. 16 penalties for more than 200 yards in the first 2 games. They lead the NFL in penalty yardage. That is a no-no if you're the Saints.
Well, you can catch tonight's game at 7:20 p.m. presented by Sanderson Farms on NBC tonight at 7:20 Central Time.
And now it's time for the Black and Gold Roll Call presented by Zatarans.
Hey, Saints fans, your New Orleans Saints are taking on the Green Bay Packers tonight, but I have to introduce you to my friends. Come on over. So, Andy, happy birthday, first of all.
Thank you so much.
So tell me, how did you all become a Saints family?
So 7 years ago I moved here, and Catherine took me to my first Saints game, and I met Frank at my first game, and then I met Allie after the NFC Championship, and so just through the years we have all stayed in touch and become the Saints amigos.
I love the amigos. So Frank, tell me about your most memorable moment at the Dome.
For me personally, all the years of being a Saints fan, I have to go back to the NFC Championship against the Vikings when we intercepted Brett Favre with 14 seconds left, and the whole Dome just erupted with noise and excitement. And we hadn't won the game yet, but somehow I knew we were going to the Super Bowl. I knew it was just, oh my God, amazing, amazing.
Don't you miss the chills it gives you? Yeah. Oh, I love it. 70,000 strong. So, Allison, you have to tell us any game day superstitions.
Yes, I always wear the same earrings, and then I always have my Lucky Morstead jersey on. So if we lose, I change my earrings.
So show us the back, Allison. It's signed by yours truly, Mr. Morstead himself. I love it. And so, Piper, you have to tell me, what's your go-to game day food?
Well, it starts with mimosas and then a hearty breakfast before we get to the Dome.
Listen, I love it. I want you all to know Zatarans wanted to make sure that I did not come empty-handed. So we have this amazing Zatarans fan pack for everybody. But before we go, happy birthday.
Thank you.
We wanted you to know that we couldn't do it without making it New Orleans style. So, of course, we brought a second line band. Hey. Over here in Mid-City. Make sure you tune into your New Orleans Saints tonight at 7:20 as the New Orleans Saints take on the Green Bay Packers for Sunday Night Football.
This is Cameron and Bailey from North Carolina wishing the Saints a great game.
All the way from the great state of New Jersey. I'm their #1 fan, and you will draft me in 2033.
We are the Moses family, coming all the way from Oklahoma, Louisiana.
Out of beautiful Orange County, California.
Go Saints!
This is Mia, checking in from the West Bank.
I'm Amanda
Amanda checking in from Carrollton. Let's get this win today.
Claiborne Martin checking in from Washington, D.C. Go Saints.
This is Wanda who lives in Dallas. Can't wait to see the Saints take the field. Go Saints!
Mike's checking in from Northern California. Go Saints!
Hey, this is Carlene checking in from Kentucky to say go Saints. Let's get this win.
Before we dig into tonight's matchup, let's take a look at last week's in our WWL Black and Gold recap.
Breeze went 26 of 38 for 312 yards with 1 touchdown and a key interception at the end of the first half that set up a field goal for the Raiders. The team had a whopping 129 penalty yards, including a crucial pass interference call against Janoris Jenkins that helped the Raiders put the game on ice. One of the few bright spots in that loss, running back Alvin Kamara. He went 9 for 9 on receptions for a total of 95 yards and averaged 6.1 yards per carry. Let's put that game behind us and fast forward to this week's opponent. It's a good one against Aaron Rodgers and the 2-0 Green Bay Packers. And so far, the team has put up dominant performances against 2 NFC North rivals. The big stories in both of those wins was running back Aaron Jones. So far, through 2 weeks of the season, Aaron Jones has 234 yards rushing, 78 yards receiving, and 4 touchdowns. Now, that 234 yards rushing is good for first in the NFL in total rushing yards. He's also third in the entire NFL in fantasy points with 63.2 fantasy points so far through week 2. So plenty to say about this game. Saints are certainly going to have to get it done in the running defense. Let's go ahead and hear from the home team in the Bose soundbites of the week.
I feel good. I feel good. Borderline great. And I'd say, again, my job is to move the football, get first downs, possess the ball, score points, right? And so however we can do that, we're going to do it. One of the statistics that was thrown out after the game was, the yards per attempt or something like that. I mean, there are many statistics I do not pay one bit of attention to, and that would be one of them.
Oh, man. He's a special talent, to be honest. I was just watching him on tape. He hits the hole hard and he runs hard. The similarity between him and AK, man, like they're smaller backs, right? Theoretically, but they run super hard. Like they trust their skill set, they trust their feet, and when they see a hole, they hit it. And having a back like that, you just got to ball him up, give him to, stop his feet, and just get in front of him and tackle.
First thing is you can't get frustrated. He's one of the most, he's not necessarily a 4-5 guy, but he's elusive in the pocket. He makes things happen. So the big thing is don't get frustrated. You're going to beat your guy clean sometimes. He's going to get the ball out. There's going to be times you get to him, and right as you get to him, he's getting the ball out. So we got to remain persistent in our rush, our approach, our game plan, and continue to pressure him. As good as he is, as good as any quarterback is, the more pressure you put on him, it's going to affect him. So that's probably the biggest thing thus far. You just got to remain persistent in the rush.
They're explosive offense. They have a lot of weapons, and somebody that can get the ball to a lot of weapons in a lot of different ways, and so it makes it challenging. But we got good guys on our side as well, and so come Sunday, our guys just have to be better than their guys.
You heard what the players had to say, but what's the talk on social media? It's time now for Look Who's Tweeting, presented by Cox. All right, this first tweet comes from @500_JBaby. Bounce back week, #Saints. What do you think, JD?
Well, I'm thinking I'm going with bounce back too. That didn't stepping out on the line, but I think that's what we're all looking for.
I hope so. This next one comes from @RodWalkerNola. Give me those Saints versus Packers prediction. And a reply to that was from @TMBDiggy. Saints, ? Packers, ? Me, filled with anxiety. That's me all the time, JD.
Diggy, come on, man. You got to be a little bit more definitive than that. Pick a score. Step on out there. Be bold.
All right, this next one comes from @ZachCruz. The Saints are 10-0 at home on Sunday Night Football with Drew Brees and Sean Payton. You got to like that one.
That sounds just about automatic, and I think that's what we're thinking, especially now that there are some fans in the Superdome.
All right, this last one comes from @Scott Shanley, a good friend of ours, Saints legend. The Atlanta Falcons are truly the gift that keeps on giving. #Saints. And yes, they are indeed, JD.
Come on, Scott, man. I'd stop kicking them when they're down. Well, no, I take that back. Kick them when they're down, Scott. We don't mind. We don't mind at all.
All right, we know how fans think things are going to go in the Dome today. Now we have opinions of a certified expert.
Former Saints quarterback Luke McCown joins us for the breakdown presented by NOLA Lending. And Luke, first of all, we needed an expert for this because we've got two Hall of Fame bound quarterbacks, and who better to break this down for us than an ex-quarterback? So, your thoughts going into this game. You've played behind Drew Brees. You've seen him at his absolute best, and you know how he generally responds if he has any games that seem to be subpar. Well, these first two have not been quite Brees-like. So how do you expect him to respond in the Sunday night game?
Well, I have a couple of thoughts on that, John. First off, thanks for having me. I enjoy keeping up with Saints Nation. I feel connected to New Orleans Saints. I know I played for several different organizations. None I hold more dear than you guys right there in New Orleans. So I appreciate you having me on and allowing me to be a part. But listen, the way that the Saints have started these first 2 weeks, obviously by Saints standards offensively have been subpar, right? And that's not sugarcoating it, and that's not making it anything less than what it is. But I want to pump the brakes on it a little bit, watching the tapes of both the games this week, and just say there's a rhythm that's going to be found. It hasn't been there, and I don't pretend to say that it has been, but it will be found. I continue to believe in Sean Payton as one of the best, if not the best, play caller in the NFL, and he will make adjustments. Now, there's a couple of caveats to that statement in that we've talked about there being no preseason, right? And certainly the injuries that happened throughout last week, and there's been a lot of talk about how they may have contributed to the fact with no preseason been had. And that goes the same way for play callers. A lot of times play callers will use the preseason to really hone in their skills for calling plays at the right time in the game. Sean's been great at that his whole career, picking out the right play at the right time and really getting the offense into a rhythm that way. And so these first 2 weeks haven't been, and he said it after the Tampa game, haven't been what he wanted it to be as a play caller, right? And then from Drew's standpoint, I know the questions surrounding Father Time and is he slowing down and so on and so forth. But having watched the tape last week, and I had a lot of the same questions, I'll be honest, and having watched the tape from last week's game, and I know there were a couple of throws that had question marks around them, and I can tell you definitively at the end of the half, the interception that happened was going to be a completion. Drew had push in his face, and yes, he doesn't have the arm at 41 years old that he used to have to throw off of his back foot with pressure in his face. But had he had time to set his feet and throw, there was a completion there to Deontay Harris wrapping around the backside of that linebacker. So I don't worry about that. There's a miscommunication between Drew and Josh Hill on a third down play on a deep crossing route where it looked like Drew just missed him. And that's not the case. If you look at the back angle of the shot, Josh stops his route and shuts it down in a hole that Drew thought he was going to continue to run through. So there's communication things that have to take place for offenses to get in a rhythm. Make no mistake about it, the Saints need to find that rhythm today at home. They've never lost a game in a Drew Brees, Sean Payton era on Sunday night at home. They need to find that rhythm tonight to get going.
Well, Luke, how fine is that line that they're searching for? Because it sounds like it's pretty close from what you're describing.
Yeah, they're not far off. They're not far off. When you talk about rhythm, John, in an offense that feeds on rhythm, right? It's hard to get in that rhythm when you don't have Mr. 149 to throw to. I heard a stat this week talking about Aaron Rodgers and the Green Bay Packers. I heard a stat this week that said something like 70% of his dropbacks have resulted in rhythm throws. That means when he hits his back foot, he takes one hitch or less to throw the ball to where he wants to get the ball to down the field. What that equates to is this: the play caller knowing exactly what he wants to call in what situation and against the look he wants the play to be against. So in other words, if I have a play design specifically for cover 2, then I'm so in tune with the game that when I call the play, the defense gives me cover 2. Therefore, my quarterback knows exactly where the ball is going when he gets to the top of his drop. That's a rhythm that the Saints have to find. So it's a really fine line, and they'll hit it, but they have to we used to talk a lot about trusting confidence in the quarterback room, trusting confidence in the play call, trusting confidence in the guys running the play and executing. And like I said, rhythm is hard to find when basically a third of all your passes over the last 2 years have gone to one guy. Now, that's a luxury in having that guy, right? He's targeted 10 to 11 times every game, and he catches 9 or 10 of those every game. And let's just say, on average, you're throwing it about 30 times a game if you're Drew Brees. So a third of your passes are going to one guy. Well, when he's out of the equation, you really have to find a rhythm within several other guys, 3 or 4 or 5 other guys that didn't have the same amount of targets combined as Mike had in one season last year. So that makes it a little more difficult, but they're not far off.
So the name of the game, Luke, seems to be rhythm. So without Michael Thomas, you saw Emmanuel Sanders last week didn't really have the numbers that a lot of fans were expecting him to have. Do you think, or how long do you think that rhythm is going to take to develop, not only between Emmanuel Sanders, but maybe Traquan Smith, Jared Cook?
Yeah, that's a great question, Caroline. And here's why. Remember, Emmanuel Sanders, halfway through the season, went from Denver to San Francisco last year. So he's effectively on his third offense in 1.5 seasons. Okay, and so give him a little room. Give him a little wide receiver that has had 70 catches, 80 catches in a year. As a matter of fact, I think it was 2012. I think he had 101 catches in a season. This is a guy that's more than serviceable to the offense, but he's got to have time to acclimate to gain speed and how Drew likes to do things. Remember, 3 offenses in 1.5 seasons, not even 1.5 seasons. That's a lot, especially when you talk about the complexities of a Kyle Shanahan offense and now a Sean Payton offense. There's a lot to digest for him. So I look for them as the season goes on for he and Drew to build a rapport. He's going to have to. He's got to step up. Obviously, Alvin Kamara is going to carry a large portion of the offense. Jared Cook and Josh Hill are going to carry a large portion of that. But we've got to find Traquan Smith now to be more than a possession guy over the middle of the field. We've got to find Deontay Harris more than just a return guy. We've got to start broadening their menu of plays to be effective as an offense.
Well, Luke, we appreciate you so much for joining us. The name of this segment is the NOLA Lending Breakdown, and you certainly broke it down for us. So we appreciate your time, and we hope you enjoy the game tonight.
I loved it, guys. Thanks so much. Go Saints.
Thank you, Luke.
Great. Thanks, guys.
Time for another look inside the Mercedes-Benz Superdome and our countdown to kickoff presented by Waiter.
And that's someone who's going to have a big day today. Maybe out there. And the offensive line.
Yeah, offensive linemen are always critical. Going through the drills right here. This is a couple of defensive linemen. That's Trey Hendrickson right there, working on the pass rush and technique. Yeah, and there's Marcus Williams, a guy who has an interception this season, the Saints' first interception this season against Tom Brady in the season opener. Marcus, a guy who's a ball hawk, so you'd like to see him pick one off. And there's Drew Brees making the rounds pregame. He's such a guy who's routine oriented. You know almost exactly what he plans to do every pregame, and he's a guy who's a creature of habit.
And you have all the Saints players in the hashtag Say Her Name shirts all warming up in that this season. But what's a game day, JD, without a few feel-good moments?
Absolutely, and do we have one for you? Brought to you courtesy of Saints receiver Michael Thomas and tonight's Ochsner hero.
So Wyatt's story began a long time ago with his right eye. His right eye unfortunately suffered retinal detachment from some congenital anomalies that he had. So despite multiple surgeries in his right eye, unfortunately he lost vision in that eye. For the last 3 years, he's been functioning very well with that one left eye. At the beginning of March, his teachers started to notice that he was having difficulty in school. By the time we saw him, he had a white cataract in his only eye. He couldn't see my hand in front of his face.
He's doing great. We're thankful to Dr. Shaw that we were able to get cataract removed within a week. So he's back to, doing his same old, playing his video game. He loves his video game, so he's on there every day.
All right, today we recognize a very special person who is inspirational to us all. It is Wyatt Baptiste and his older brother who is joining us on the Ochsner Hero today. Hello, Wyatt. How are you?
Good.
We hear you are very brave. Well, Wyatt, we have a surprise for you and your brother, Wendell. We have a very special guest joining us on today's show because we heard that your favorite player is Michael Thomas. So we wanted to surprise you with a very special guest. We welcome on to our Ochsner Hero, Michael Thomas.
Hey, what's up, Wyatt? It's Michael Thomas.
Hi.
I just wanted to say I'm so proud of you. I heard the great news that you got your vision back, and you'll be able to watch and cheer for the Saints this year, bro.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you.
And I also heard that you're a huge fan of video games, and that's one of your favorite hobbies to do. So we'll be sending you an Xbox and Madden 20 to play with the Saints.
Xbox?
I'm happy that you're excited about that, bro.
Well, Michael, we appreciate you joining us on the show today.
Thank you for having me, bro.
Wyatt, congratulations so much. We appreciate you for being so brave and for being our Ochsner Hero today. All right, that was a sweet moment, but of course it's time to spice things up a bit. We're in New Orleans, why not? Let's take a look at this fan who brings a whole new meaning to Die Hard in My Team, My Town, presented by Tabasco.
Good job, good job. Hey, my name is Vivian Sonny Lee III, and I am founder and CEO of Son of a Saint. And this is My Team, My Town. Son of a Saint, which is a program that supports boys who unfortunately have lost their father to violence or long-term incarceration. But, the boys are not defined by that. There are obviously some amazing young men in our community that will do great things to help shape our futures. So now you got to make it with a hand in your face. Oh, good job. My father used to play with the Saints. He died in 1984. I was 3 years old. He was 36 at the time. I had a pretty safe, loving environment, but I was missing a lot of that male guidance, I think, that a lot of adolescent boys need. Here's the thing, guys. I don't want none of y'all getting hurt because we got concrete over here. And we're watching the game. Put that over your nose, please. Thank you. Appreciate it. We're kind of growing up in New Orleans. The Saints is it's a part of our culture. It's a part of conversation. It's a part of celebration. My sister was actually a Saints Station, and my mom obviously shares a lot of her time that she had being the wife of a Saints player. So we have a big, close-knit Saints family, and this is what we wanted to do to help support the community.
To be a true fanatic, you've got to dress the part. Go to the Saints mobile app or saintsmobileshop.com to check out this week's item of the game.
Time for an honored Saints fan tradition, trash talk. Something you're pretty good at, JD.
Maybe sometimes, but let's take a small sampling in tonight's trash talk presented by Waste Pro.
All right, from @NO Saints World. Hey, #Rams fans. How does it feel to lose a game on a bad PI call? #Go Bills. That's savage right there.
Well, that's pretty good trash talk, but Saints World, I'll offer a little perspective. A game 3 PI that costs you a game is like here. NFC Championship game PI that costs you a Super Bowl is here.
Yep.
So I get where you're going, and that's a good one.
I agree. All right, now we have to focus now on a Saints fan who gives a whole new meaning to motivation. Time now for our People's Health Champion.
Decades of helping people with Medicare, People's Health has seen people over 65 accomplish extraordinary things, like champion Jan Ramsey.
On July 15, 2019, at the age of 68, Jan Ramsey premiered a new music video series. It's a collaboration between our internationally acclaimed magazine and a prominent local university.
It helps the musicians and artists, it helps the students, and
At the end, it helps the entire community.
Miss Ramsey started the magazine over 30 years ago and has been an advocate for our music and culture ever since.
Just as the Saints bring us together on game day, music has always brought us together. It's part of who we are.
Her success comes from her creativity, her attention to life experience, and her ability to craft great partnerships. That music video partnership, Miss Ramsey, that's the kind of thing that makes you a People's Health champion. Congratulations.
People's Health and the New Orleans Saints congratulate Jan Ramsey, your People's Health champion.
Time for another in-game favorite, the 50-50 raffle. This year, it's gone virtual. A portion of the proceeds from today's raffle will benefit the Saints and Pelicans Gulf Coast Renewal Fund, which is dedicating its resources to helping the victims of Hurricane Laura.
We mentioned at the top of the show that the Saints will play in front of fans tonight for the first time this season. It's a smaller portion, 750 fans tonight. It'll be family members and staff members inside the Mercedes-Benz Superdome tonight.
You know, a small, intimate crowd, but we tracked down a few of them just to ask them how they felt seeing in person for the first time this season their Saints on the field.
We're excited. We've been looking forward to this since the end of last season, and I was disappointed we weren't able to come to the first home game here, but happy to be able to be here for this one.
We're just really excited to be here. We've been looking forward to it. We enjoy supporting our son, and more than happy to be here for him and the rest of the team. So we're just excited. We're Saints fans, and we're glad to be here.
Well, it's an exciting game. We're playing one of the top teams in the league. Looking forward to coming and making a great showing against Green Bay tonight. So we're looking for a W for the Saints at the end of the game tonight.
We'll just be screaming our heads off, trying to make up for the ones who couldn't make it. We know in their hearts that they could be here, they would be. So we'll just be standing in the gap for them and trying to root on the guys on the field.
Find us when we score the first touchdown and they say stand up and get caught.
We're just going to have to scream for the 69,000 other people who are not here for this game to make up for the crowd noise. Go Saints!
JD, we've seen glimmers of the Saints offense get in rhythm, as we heard Luke say earlier. Hopefully this is the week that everything comes together.
We're absolutely hoping that. Earlier this week, caught up with Saints center Eric McCoy to talk about some of the struggles the offensive line has experienced, and also a really good defensive line from Green Bay that he'll see in this game.
Has had an opportunity to get some cohesion. Now, obviously, there's been some bumpy roads, but 19 games as an NFL player for yourself, 17 last year, 2 this year. How is the cohesion moving along for that unit for you?
I would say it's moving along really, really well. I mean, it's a group of guys that I've been with now. With the injuries that we had last year, working with all these guys for probably 8 to 10 plus games now. So the cohesion is there. It's really starting to gel and it's really starting to glue up front.
Are we downplaying the absence of an off season, especially for a group like an offensive line, because you guys depend so much on familiarity with one another?
I wouldn't say we're downplaying it, but it's definitely plays a role just because, you use that time to develop. It's really good to even fill each other out and even more. With the shorter camp, that's something we kind of had to just do on the fly coming into it.
Yeah, Eric, you saw this offense put together some phenomenal performances last season, a bit of a slow start this season. So how do you guys get back to being what we expect you to be?
Yeah, and I would say just from earlier, it all starts with the execution. And once again, that kind of starts up front. We have to be better just to see what you want to see.
You've seen some formidable defensive tackles already early in your career, whether it be Aaron Donald or others. Now Kenny Clark comes along from Green Bay. Green Bay is a team that really can attack, especially at that defensive tackle position. What have you seen from Kenny Clark on film?
He has a unique blend of size, speed, quickness. He really just has the complete package running pass. So it's something I'm definitely going to be on my A game for this week. He's just a phenomenal player.
Yeah. What has Eric McCoy learned about Eric McCoy in his NFL career?
A lot about time management. And it's something I kind of picked up on college, but it's something that I really picked up on now. Time management, whether that's film study or extra rehab or extra recovery, and just different things in that sort.
Read the injury report you can. Time now for our injury report presented by Acadian Ambulance. Let's take a look at the inactives of tonight's game. Defensive end Marcus Davenport, wide receiver Michael Thomas, defensive back DJ Swearinger, linebacker Chase Hansen, and defensive tackle David Onyemata. Not someone who I was expecting to see out, JD, and David Onyemata.
Well, Onyemata came up injured later in the week, probably injured himself in practice, and so obviously enough with that calf to not be active in this game. You don't want to re-aggravate it further.
All right, that's the scoop from inside the dome. Let's take a look at these Saints fans who are checking in, with the hashtag Saints Game Day presented by Coke. Showed you how some Saints fans like to party. Now we're going to show you how they like to eat, and it's quite a spread.
Let's toss it back out to Marche in Mid-City for Bold and Black and Gold presented by Zatarain's.
Go check out the spread that you were telling me about.
Yes, come on over.
Come on, Ashley.
So I made some muffaletta sausages here.
Oh my gosh.
Got a Bloody Mary bar going.
Of course.
And of course, no tailgate would be complete without Zatarain's jambalaya.
Look at that jambalaya. I think I need a plate immediately. This looks so good. Wait.
Right?
You know we couldn't do it without AK, guys. Come on, Alvin Kamara, the finishing touch. This looks amazing, Andy.
Thank you.
Great job.
We know the players are feeling fierce tonight, but if you want to get in on the action, you can do so right from your phone on the Saints app by playing Extra Downs.
Okay, open up the Saints app, play Extra Downs presented by America's Card Room. Questions like this one: how many rushing yards will the Saints defense hold the Packers to in tonight's game? I have my own answer to that one, but you can make up your own. Head to the Saints mobile app, play for a chance to win $1,000 cash.
Now it's time for one of our favorite.
And there's even more ways to get paid with Harrah's Spin to Win. If 5 different Saints get a reception, fans will be able to visit Harrah's within 7 days. And there's even more ways to get paid with Harrah's Spin to Win. If 5 different Saints get a reception, fans will be able to visit Harrah's within 7 days to redeem $20 in free slot play.
Excuse me, that player huddle was powered by Mercedes-Benz. Let's go ahead and get into our score prediction fueled by Chevron. JD, I've been wrong a few times, so my score prediction for tonight is 38-31, Saints win.
Well, I'm saying 31-27, although yours probably might be closer because this might be a high-scoring game. The Saints generally get into those on Sunday Night Football, and they generally win.
All right, that's our take. Now let's check in with one of our celebrity friends, Hoda Kotb.
Hey guys, okay, look, I'm just telling you right now, last week didn't matter, we got this one. This is us, the Saints versus the Packers. I mean, I have something to say right now. Aaron Rodgers, who? Come on, Saints, let's do it. I feel it, I believe.
Thanks to Hoda, and thank you for joining us at Dome at Home Live.
Don't leave this station. Come with us post-game. Check out Coach Payton and his interviews post-game. Also, quarterback Drew Brees and an assortment of players. We will be here with you. We'll see you after the game. But first, we will leave you with this, which will leave you in a great mood heading into the game.
We've each been to one, and we've each won one. They've had a ton of success, just like we have. Lots of playoffs appearances, lots of playoff wins. Each season is a new season, and each team is a new team.